Our last encounter with the Baleno RS was on the Buddh International Circuit. Now, driving on the track and driving on the street are two different things. Now, a lot of you wanted to know how this car performs in real-world conditions, and that's just what we're going to do today. Before getting behind the wheel, let's quickly run through the changes. There's a new mesh front grille, body skirting all around, slightly different rear bumper, and a new rear spoiler. The 16-inch alloy wheels are carried over from the standard Baleno, although they are black now to give the car a sportier look. The interiors, on the other hand, are simply carried over from the standard car, without any changes. Owners shelling out a huge premium for this version surely would appreciate higher levels of differentiation compared to the regular car. So aesthetically, there's not too much that's different. But does the difference lie beneath the skin? Well, the RS is powered by a tiny 1-litre 3-cylinder turbocharged petrol motor, making 102 horsepower and 150 Nm of torque. Remember, compared to the international version, this engine has been detuned to match the fuel quality in India. Maruti has stiffened the structure of the RS even further, which has made the car a bit heavier. Still, it boasts of a light curb weight of merely 950 kilograms. Now let's see how it feels on the road. So it's noticeably quicker than the petrol Baleno and feels light on its feet. In fact, power kicks in at 1600 RPM, but there's no real punch or wave of torque. There's a mild surge and it pulls cleanly all the way till 6000 RPM. The good thing is this car is very easy in traffic. The controls are very light and path throttle responses are really good. As long as you're gentle on the throttle, you don't need to really work the gears that much. This tiny motor has ample torque on offer even at lower RPMs, and this makes city driving a breeze. In-gear acceleration timings show the superior drivability of this 1-litre turbocharged motor over the naturally aspirated 1.2-litre petrol. Flat-out performance is quite remarkable too, with the 0 to 100 sprint coming in just 10.25 seconds, which is nearly 2.5 seconds faster than the petrol Baleno. But it's a whole second slower than the other hot hatch, the 145 horsepower Abarth Punto. The RS also gets a stiffer suspension setup, and though we thought the older car was quite balanced in its behavior, this version feels much sportier. It turns into corners sharply, and driving this car is distinctly more fun. However, the sportier setup is not reflected at the steering wheel. Now the steering is a bit heavier than before, but on a winding section of road where you'd want that feedback, it still feels a bit vague and inconsistent. Let's just say that it does the job, but it's nowhere close to the likes of the Polo or the Abarth Punto. What's nice though is the RS's ride. Despite the firmer suspension, it takes on the bad roads very competently. Another improvement is that this version can now go over speed breakers fully loaded without scraping its belly. With all the added performance, what's reassuring is that this car comes with rear disc brakes. They bite well and you can stop exactly where you want it. In terms of equipment, the RS is based on the top Alpha variant of the Baleno, hence comes loaded with features. Now the Baleno petrol never lacked in terms of performance, but the RS takes things to a different level altogether. It's a more powerful engine and comes with sportier handling. Also, this car comes with the same practicality as the normal Baleno, like the spacious interiors, the large boot, and it's loaded with features as well. But things start to go downhill a bit when you start considering this car as a hot hatchback. Now, this car doesn't have the performance or the visual drama like the Punto Abarth. Yes, it's a bit quicker than the regular Baleno, but for that 1.4 lakh additional sum, you're not getting any drastic visual changes which differentiates it from the regular car, and that's a bit of a downer. So then, should you buy the Baleno RS? If you love driving and are looking for sporty performance but still want the practicality and features of the Baleno and the safety and security of the Maruti badge, the Baleno RS is the one to go for.